Respected gurus, distinguished scholars and practitioners, friends of INDICA, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to INDICA Guru Utsava 2026 to all of you. We will begin the Guru Utsava with a ceremonial lighting of the lamp and Veda Parayana. I invite Shri Hari Vadlamani ji, founder of INDICA, and our revered gurus seated in the front row to kindly come forward to light the lamp. Sai Swarupa Garu, could you please escort the revered gurus? I also request Shri Vadlamani Subramanya Ganapati and his troupe to take their places on the stage and begin the Veda Parayana. Shri Vadlamani Subramanyam Ganapati is an eminent exponent of the Krishna Yajurveda and the Ganapatha. He served as a Veda Pandita at the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams for 38 years. Please.
Om Gananam Dva Ganapatikum Kavirabhavasravastamam Yeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspada Anasrun Udibhisedasadanam Mama Agne Varcho Vehaveshvastu Vayan Dhanastanubam Bushema Mahyanamandam Pradeshascha Jakshena Purdanajayema Mama Deva Vihave Santu Sarva Indra Vando Maruto Vishnuraknihi Mamandariksha Murugopavastu Mahyam Vadah Pavata Kame Asmin Mayi Deva Travinamaya Jandam Maya Siras Mayi Deva Hudi Devya Hodara Vanishanda Purverishta Syama Tanuva Subira Mahyanjajanto Mamayane Havyagodisa Manaso Me Astu Yeno Maniga Angatamachanaham Vishve Devaso Adhivojadame Devi Shadurvirurunah Krunota Devasa Ehavirayadvam Mahasmahi Prajayava Maradhamatvishate Somarajan Aktir Manjum Pradinudan Burasta Tadaptho Gopa Nastvam Pratyanjo Yandu Nigudah Punaste Maishanjittam Vineshate Dhata Dhatrunam Bhuvanasya Yaspadirte Vagosavit Abhimadishaham Imai Hetyamasvino Bhabrahaspadirte Antu Yajamanan Yarthade Uruvyajano Mahishasharma Yagonsadhaspino Have Purukshu Sanah Prajayai Hariyasvamrudajendra Manori Maparadaha Yena Savatna Apate Bhavandindraknibhya Pavavadhamahetaanu Vasavo Rutra Aditya Uparispurusham Hokrangye Madhirajamakran Arvanjamindra Mamudo Havamahe Yogo Imanno Yajnam Vihavejuraswasya Kurmo Harivo Medinandva Prataraktim Pratarindrago Havamahe Pratar Mitra Varuna Pratarasvina Pratar Bhagam Bhushanam Brahmanaspatim Pradasoma Mutarutrago Huvema Pradarchitam Bhagamukrago Huvema Vayam Putramaditeryo Vidharta Atraschityam Manyamanastoraschit Raja Jityam Bhagam Bhakshityaha Bhagapranedar Bhagasatya Radha Bhagemandhiyamuda Vadadanna Bhagapranoyana Yagobhirasvaihi Bhagapranurvirnruvandasyava Udedanim Bhagavandasya Uta Prabhitva Udamatye Annam Maghavan Suryasya वयं देवानागो सुमतौ स्याम भग एव भगवागुम् अस्तु देवाः तेन वयं भगवन्तस्याम तन्वा भग सर्व इज्जो हवीमि स नो भगपुर एता भवेह समध्वरायोषसो न मन्दा दधिक्रावे वसुजये अर्वाचीनं वसुविदं भगन्नः रथमिवाश्वावाजिन आवहन्तु अश्वावतीर्गोमतीर्न वीरवतीः सदमुच्छन्तु भद्राः घृतन्दुहारा विश्वतः प्रवीणाः यूयं बाध स्वस्तिभिः सदा क्षीयेत सारस्वतौ होमौ पुरस्ताज्जुहुयादमावास्य सरस्वत्यनुलोममेवैनावालभते मुमाप्यायत आग्नावैष्णवमेकादशकपालं पुरस्तान्निर्वः सरस्वत्यै जरुगो सरस्वते त्वादशकपालं यदा आग्नेयो भवत्यग्निर्वै यज्ञमुखं यज्ञमुखं पुरस्ताद्धत्ते यद्वैष्णवो भवति यज्ञो वै विष्णुर्यज्ञरभ्यः प्रतनुते सरस्वत्यै जरुर्भवति सरस्वते त्वादशकपालो पूर्णमासः सरस्वात्तमेव साक्षादारभदार्थोत्याभ्याम् सरस्वते भवति मिथुनत्वाय प्रजात्यै मिथुनौ गावौ दक्षिणा पृथिवी शान्ता साग्निना शान्ता सा मे शान्ता सुजगो शमयतु अंतरिक्षगो शान्तं दत्वायुना शान्तं तन्मे शान्तं सुजगो शमयतु द्यौ शान्ता सादित्येन शान्ता सा मे सुजगो शमयतु पृथिवी शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगो शान्तिर्द्यौ शान्तिर्दिश अवान्तरदिशा शान्तिरग्निः शान्तिर्वायुः शान्तिश्चन्द्रमा शान्तिर्नक्षत्राणि च आपः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिर्वनस्पतयः शान्तिरस्पः शान्तिः पुरुषः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म ब्राह्मण एव शान्ति शान्तिर्मे अस्तु शान्तिः तयाः गो शान्त्या सर्वशान्त्या मह्यं विपदे शान्तिं करोमि शान्तिर्मे अस्तु शान्तिः आभिर्गीर्भिर्यततो न ऊनमाप्यायय हरिभो वर्धमानः यदा स्तोत्रभ्यो महि गोत्रारुजासि भूयिष्ठभ अथ ते स्यामा ब्रह्म प्रवादिष्पदन्नो माहासीद ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
From sacred sound, we now move to sacred movement. Karnataka Kalashri Dr. Sridhar and Srimati Anuradha Sridhar are among the 17 gurus being honored through Grateful to Gurus this year. Although prior commitments prevented them from joining us today, their presence reaches us through their Shishya, Miss Sarayu GS. Sarayu has been training in Bharatnatyam for the past 12 years at Khechara Academy under Dr. Sridhar. She will present Nrityanjali, followed by a Devaranama composed by Saint Kanakadas. Both presentations have been choreographed by her gurus. Please join me in welcoming Sarayu.
ತಗಿಡೆ ರಗದ ತದೀಂ ತದೀಂ 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 ತಗಿಡೆ ರಗದ ತದಿ ತಗದದಿ ವಿಧ ಗಿಡದಗದದ್ದಿ ತಗಡಗದಂ ಸರಿ ಗಿಡದಗದ ತರಿ ತಗದದಿ ವಿಧ ಗಿಡದಗದದ್ದಿ ತಗಡಗದಂ ಸರಿ ಗಿಡದಗದದಿ ತಗಡಗದಂ ತಗದಿ ತಗಡಗದಂ ತಗಡಗಡಗದಂ ತಾಮೀಂ ದಡದಗದೀಂ ದಡದಡದಡದ ಜುಡು ಜುಡುದ ತಗದಿಕು ತಗದಿಕು ಗಿಡದಗದರಿ ಗಿಡದೋ ತಾಮೀಂ ದಡದಗದೀಂ ದಡದಡದಡದ ಜುಡು ಜುಡುದ ತಗದಿಕು ತಗದಿಕು ಗಿಡದಗದರಿ ಗಿಡದೋ ತಾಮೀಂ ದಡದಗದೀಂ ದಡದಡದದ ಜುಡು ಜುಡುದ ತಗದಿಕು ತಗದಿಕು ಗಿಡದಗದರಿ ಗಿಡದೋ ತಗದಿಕು ಗಿಡದಗದರಿ ಗಿಡದೋ ತಗದಿಕು ಗಿಡದಗದರಿ ಗಿಡದೋ ತಾ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣಯ್ಯ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣಯ್ಯ ನಿನ್ನ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮನೆಗೀಗ ರಂಗಯ್ಯ 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 ಬಾರೋ ಬಾರೋ ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಖ ತೋರೋ ಬಾರೋ ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಖ ತೋರೋ ನಿನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾರೋ ಜಗಬರಕ್ಷಿಪನೆ ಬಾರೋ ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಖ ತೋರೋ ನಿನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾರೋ ಜಗಬರಕ್ಷಿಪನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಂದುಗೆ ಪಾಡಗವು ಕಾಲಂದುಗೆ ಕಿರುಗೆ ಧಿಂದಿವಿ ದಿವಿ ದೇವಿ ದಿವಿರೆನ್ನುತ್ತ ಅಂದುಗೆ ಪಾಡಗವು ಕಾಲಂದುಗೆ ಕಿರುಗೆ ಧಿಂದಿವಿ ದಿವಿ ದೇವಿ ದಿವಿರೆನ್ನುತ್ತ ಪೊಂಗೊಳಲೂದುತ ಬಾರಯ್ಯ ಪೊಂಗೊಳಲೂದುತ ಬಾರಯ್ಯ ಪೊಂಗೊಳಲೂದುತ ಬಾರಯ್ಯ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣಯ್ಯ ಕಂಕಣ ಕರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪುನುಗುರ ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತ ಕಿಂಕಿಣಿ ಕಿಣಿ ಕಿಣಿ ಕಿಣಿರೆನುತ ಕಂಕಣ ಕರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂಣುಂಗುರ ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತ ಕಿಂಕಿಣಿ ಕಿಣಿ ಕಿಣಿ ಕಿಣಿರೆನುತ ಪೊಂಗೊಳಲು ದೂತ ಬಾರಯ್ಯ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪೊಂಗೊಳಲು ದೂತ ಬಾರಯ್ಯ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ವಾಸ ಉಡುಪಿಲಿ ನೆಲೆಯಾದಿ ಕೇಶವನೇ ವಾಸ ಉಡುಪಿಲಿ ನೆಲೆಯಾದಿ ಕೇಶವನೇ ದಾಸ ನಿನ್ನ ಪದ ದಾಸ ದಾಸ ನಿನ್ನ ಪದ ದಾಸ ನಿನ್ನ ಪದ ದಾಸ ನಿನ್ನ ಪದ ದಾಸ ನಿನ್ನ ಪದ ದಾಸ ದಾಸ ನಿನ್ನ ಪದ ದಾಸ ನಿನ್ನ ಪದ ದಾಸರು ಸಲಗರು ಬಾರಯ್ಯ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣಯ್ಯ ನಿನ್ನ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮನೆಗೆ ರಂಗಯ್ಯ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣಯ್ಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣಯ್ಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣಯ್ಯ
I invite Hari Vadlamani Garu, our founder, to please come on stage for the intervention that he wanted to make. The 5 minutes that you sought begin now. Welcome.
This was unscheduled. I just wanted to make a representation to my good friends here, Pankaj, Ashish, Nomesh, quite a few friends of INDICA here who are advancing in the media and in the academic institutions. The way we have evolved this whole program, most of you in Delhi must have seen back in 2016, we had the opportunity to honor Bibi Lal. Probably that was his last honor before he attained Mahasamadhi. And since then, we have honored more than 54 gurus. And this year, we changed the format into two aspects. One is felicitating living gurus, and one is celebrating the Guru Sishya Parampara that is continuing to date. And we called for applications. Of the application received, we found one capable of, worthy of presentation. But I really request my friends to advance this so that coming year, the way we envision this program is that it should be a day-long celebration of the lineages that still continue. And it could be in any knowledge stream. It could be in craft also, it could be in any knowledge stream. A day-long celebration of past gurus and how that tradition is still flowing through. For example, my son learned sitar from Dr. Raja, who learned from Napuna Devi, who is the daughter of Baba Alauddin Khan. So there's a lineage that is still continuing. So we need to celebrate lineages that are still continuing as an academic endeavor to see how they are continuing and how they are living through in our civilization. And then, of course, we felicitate in the evening the living gurus. So Pankaj Bhai, Ashish Bhai, please advance this. Nomesh Bhai, this is a very important thing. Going forward, every year we want to do this in 2 sections. So now I invite Nitya Jagannathan, who is a living disciple of Krishnamacharya and Deshikacharya. So, Nitya.
Thank you, Hariji, for stealing my thunder. But at the same time, just saying what I wanted to do. But before we invite Nritya on stage to make her presentation, a few words about Nritya ji herself. She was his student, Shri TKV Deshikachar student for over 14 years. Nritya ji is a senior yoga therapist with more than 22 years of teaching experience. She's currently the director of the KYM Institute of Yoga Studies at the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. She's taught yoga, yoga therapy, and Vedic chanting across the world and has received several honors, including the Yogini Award, the Yoga Lakshmi Award, and the title of Yoga Chikitsa Acharya. Nritya ji is also a professional Bharatnatyam artist with over 39 years of experience, having performed extensively in India and abroad. She's been conferred several titles by leading sabhas in Chennai, including Yuva Kala Bharati and Nritya Jyoti. A scholar and author, she has served as editor-in-chief of Darshanam, the Journal of Yoga and Yoga Chikitsa of the KYM. She has authored 3 books, the most recent being Purnima, A Return to Completeness. It's a pleasure to invite Nritya ji and invite her to present her work and the work of her guru, whose work she is carrying forward. Nritya ji, the stage is yours till 4:30 now.
Om Namo Bhagavate Muttukrishnaaya. Shri Krishna Gurave Namaha. Vandeham Yoga Deshikam. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha. Gurubhyastad Gurubhyascha Namo Vakamedhimahe Vrinimahe Chatatradhyau Dampati Jagatampati Krishna Suri Daya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimat Venkatanathaaryam Vandeham Yoga Deshikam. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My gratitude to Shri Hari Vadlamani ji, to Dimple ji, and of course to INDICA for giving me this platform to speak on the sacred occasion of Guru Purnima about the life, the teachings and works of my Yogacharya, Shri Tirumala Krishnamacharya Venkata Deshikachar. 1938, 21st June till the 8th August 2016, I stand before you as a humble student of a great parampara, and I present the life and works of my Guru this evening before you. I will be quickly tracing through the origin of this parampara. Shri Desikachar is the son and long-time student of renowned yogi Shri TKV Desikachar. So I will trace this lineage, also speak about Sir, as we call him. He refused to be called Guruji. He wanted to be called by name. As a concession to his students, he allowed us to call him Sir. And so we will look at Sir's life and his journey under his Guru. Moving on to his vision, his contributions that continue to make an impact in the study, the practice, and the application of yoga and yoga therapy the world over. Moving on to the parampara and how it continues till date. Lastly, my journey with him as a Shishya. This is a remarkable yoga lineage that traces itself all the way back to the early 20th century. Shri Krishnamacharya was born in the lineage of the very great Vaishnavite Acharya Shri Nathamuni of the 9th century. Krishnamacharya was born on 18 November 1888 at Muchukundapura in Mysore. He was the great-grandson of His Holiness Shri Srinivasa Brahmatantra Parakala Swami, the Mathadipati then of the Parakala Math of Mysore. Even as a young boy, his calling towards a spiritual path was very high. And though trained in Veda and Vedanta in the Parakala Mutt, he found his way to Sarovar in Tibet, where he studied for over 7.5 years under a Himalayan master, Sri Rama Mohana Brahmachari. Later, at his guru's order, he returned to Mysore and established the Yoga Shala at the behest of Maharaja of Mysore, Krishnaraja Odayar IV. It was at this time that 3 very significant personalities of yoga came into contact with Sri Krishnamacharya. Madam Indra Devi, Sri B.K. Iyengar, and Sri Patabhi Joyce, from whom many yoga paths, yoga threads continue till date. The 4th of his long-term disciples was his own son, Shri T.K.V. Desikachar, whose life is what I'm going to be speaking about. From Desikachar to the lineage of the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram and others trained here. Tirumalai Krishnamacharya, 1888 to 1989. He was a remarkable yogi, a legendary yogi as well. He had degrees in the Shad Darshanas, in Ayurveda. He was also a Vainika and was among the first of the Yogacharyas to teach women yoga, to teach yoga to everyone at the Mysore Yogashala and at the palace in Mysore, to the king and to all the visiting diplomats as well. He was also among the first of the masters of his time to open Vedic chanting to all, especially women, and he was very emphatic that this was an apad dharma in order to preserve the Vedic tradition from dying. Shri Krishnamacharya individualized the teaching and the application of yoga, the diagnostic methodology, and was possibly one of the first masters to bring in the entire spectrum of yoga's tools beyond asana. Mantra, bhavana, pranayama, nyasam, japam, kshetratana, you name it, and it was woven into the Krishnamacharya methodology. Specifically, his commentary perspective on Ishvara Pranidhana from a Vishishtadvaita lens stands apart among the existing Yoga Sutra commentaries. He was a sadhaka. Till his very last breath, he was a sadhaka. He left his body at the age of 101 and has demonstrated very often, 3 times in fact, his capacity to stop his heart and get it to beat again. While he had a number of yoga siddhis, he chose to profess himself as a yogacharya, and his mission and vision in life was to take the message of yoga across the world. So that in this age, in the Kali Yuga, he believed that what we need most is fundamental wellness. And it was for this that Shri Krishnamacharya worked. Shri Desikachar was born in 1938 at Mysore. He departed in 2016. I don't have stories to tell about my teacher. Special stories, spectacular episodes one can find in books and articles about Gurujis and men who do wonders on stage. What is so special about Desikachar is exactly that there are none of these stories to tell about him. Why? To me, he is a model of modesty and unpretentiousness. One of his biggest contributions is that he shows how one can teach yoga quietly, steadily, and full-heartedly. This was the sir that we all met. He was a nondescript man, very short in stature, and very unassuming as a personality. But what he has left behind remains as a beacon for all those in the path of yoga. He grew up in the Mysore palace. On the sidelines of the palace, his father was the acharya at the Yogashala. And like all the children of Krishnamacharya, was forced to practice and demonstrate yoga. Though he told us that he had no great interest in this. He did it because his father told him to. And while he practiced under the watchful eyes of a very, very strict father, that was not his calling. The family had 6 children, and although he was the teacher to the royals, Shri Krishnamacharya was an epitome of aparigraha. He refused to take a penny beyond what his monthly wages were. And so they had a large number of mouths to feed. And Shri Desikachar chose to take a path in engineering. He went on to graduate as a civil engineer in order to support his parents because he had 5 other siblings. And his path took him to an engineering profession where he was building houses and various other such constructions. But a big change came in 1960. Now, before that, the Yogashala closed down with the ceding of the princely states close to our independence. The Mysore Shala closed down. Shri Krishnamacharya and his family had to move to Chennai. And it was at this point that Shri Desikachar chose an alternate path because he had to support his family. Many years went by. 1960, Desikachar has told us very often that one fine morning he saw a large car stop outside their gate. There was a woman, obviously Western, a white woman, who rushed inside the house calling out "Professor." And when she saw Krishnamacharya, she hugged him. Now, this was something that was shocking to Sir, to Desikachar, his son. As you can well imagine, we are looking at India in the 60s, and this is Krishnamacharya from a very conservative Brahmana background, allowing himself to be touched, let alone embraced by a white woman. And this shocked Desikachar, and later he wanted to know why. And his father told him that this lady, Mrs. K. Malvinen, had come from New Zealand, and for the first time, after 30 years of insomnia, had slept through the night, the previous night. This was a turning point in Desikachar's life, and he decided to quit his job. He had a new appointment with an engineering firm. He did not take it up, choosing instead to work with Larsen and Toubro in Chennai and continued to study under his teacher. It was at this time that Shri Krishnamacharya also asked him to teach Jiddu Krishnamurti, Krishnaji, as he was very well known. And this was again important because Desikachar was molded by these two behemoths, you could say. One, a very traditional purist father, and the other, Krishnaji, whom all of us know about his views, especially about religion, about the Guru Parampara, but a thinker like no other. And all of Shri Desikachar's teachings, you can see, reflect the influences of both these great teachers. Over the years, he studied with his father for well close to 30 years. 1989 is when Shri Krishnamacharya passed away. In 1976, Sir established the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram in Chennai as a center for yoga therapy, as a tribute to his father. And he was hand-holding, guiding, training every teacher who came through the portals of the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram for therapy, but because we had to give yoga therapy, because both Krishnamacharya and Desikachar felt that yoga interventions were the need of the hour, with integrated approaches where allopathy, homeopathy, yoga, siddha, ayurveda all could come together in enabling a baseline wellness for all. And this was the vision of the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. From the time his father left the body, Shri Desikachar continued to anchor, to teach, and to run the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. The difficulty Mr. Desikachar had to master was not only to inhale his father's immense wisdom and to hold it inside himself, but also exhale it in a vivid manner to us in the West. Fulfilling this task makes a big difference to most of the others who, in my point of view, are just teaching a technical version of something they call yoga. This was important because Krishnamacharya was a polymath, a Sarvatantra Swatantra, adept in Samskrita, adept in all the Shastras, and it was to Desikachar to distill and then to distribute the essence of these teachings, but while making them relevant to the needs of that time. His vision was this: yoga for all in a manner that is authentic, never diluting, never deviating from the strength and the power of the parampara, and yet accessible to all. This was Sir. He made himself accessible. He brought himself to the level of every care seeker who came to him, and always appropriate to that individual. This is a sort of an overview in a very short form of all that Shri Desikachar envisioned and brought to practice. He had a great capacity to connect to individuals individually, heart to heart, whether it was a child, whether it was a corporate leader, whether it was a sannyasi, whoever it was, he would have something to speak about, to build a connection. And what was very important was his ability to design practices suited to that individual. Not a generic practice that is force-fit to the individual, but specific customized practices after a thorough understanding through darshanam, sparshanam, nadi pariksha, through Prashnam, through question and answer, he devised a method of absolutely tailor-made practices and a very intelligent approach. He was very open to integration. His approach was integrated healthcare. Way back at a time when this was not even heard of, he has had dialogues, conferences, conversations with medical practitioners from across all disciplines, and he was always open to integrating these approaches into his work. He continued his father's legacy of taking yoga off the mat and throwing the spotlight on yoga beyond just asana. Pranayama, mantra, bhavana are very, very powerful techniques of the Krishnamacharya approach, and practices that accommodate every belief, every faith, that he did not, while he was staunch in following his father's approach, his practices were always tailored to the individual, to their belief system, without causing any sense of a dissonance. That was again a great contribution that continues to be followed by all of us in this parampara. And his teaching was rooted in Shastra, but always evolving. There was never a stagnant course design. The course kept evolving depending on what the care seeker needed, and always gently, with care and compassion. His greatest contribution to yoga is not only the depth and broad range of his teachings and how clearly he presents them, but how he embodies these lessons as a living example of how yoga works. Witnessing Desikachar engaging in the world, observing his interactions with students, etc., as well as executing mundane tasks such as shopping, have shown me the power of yoga in action. For him, he said, health is non-negotiable. Without health, you cannot even dream of further or higher sadhana. He spent decades of a very rigorous study. Just his study of the Yoga Sutra went through 7 iterations, not to mention the Gita and the other texts. But with that, he was able to come out with the crystallized essence of these teachings, but always apply them to the receiver. In that language, in that context, to that bhumi, as we say, tasya bhumishu viniyogaha. He was fluid in multiple languages and had a very, very evocative, very powerful style of communication. And he was accessible to many. We will see the people he touched and taught. This is a legacy. These are specifically Shri Desikachar's contributions. Interpreting yoga, the heart of yoga is Shri Desikachar's remarkable path-breaking perspective on the Yoga Sutra. It is a book that, without any bias, I would say was the first of its kind that showcased Yoga Sutra to a general lay reader. It is a book that will continue to lure anyone. You don't have to be a yoga practitioner to find meaning in this book, because he breaks down the mysticism, the esotericism, brings it down to personalized practices. This was a bestseller from the time it was published till today. The drawings that you see, the line drawings that you see are Desikachar's gift, born of his training as an engineer, because he realized that you can't teach someone a personalized practice and then give them essay after essay of instructions. And so he devised this very simple method of drawing to scale human figures to explain. You see there also, that's a course progression. So the structure of a course from beginning to end and its notation through figures is a Desikachar contribution which he refused. He refused to patent or claim copyright of. Today, the world of yoga, all teachers across the world use this system as notation. Also, chanting of the Yoga Sutra was something he insisted on. Every teacher had to know the Yoga Sutra by heart. So the notation of the text, which is a smriti, was done by Shri Desikachar with the inputs from his father. The structure of a practice, there is a clear Purvanga, Pradhananga, Uttaranga. We don't do random practices. There is a clear beginning, there is a movement towards a stated goal, and then a decline, a movement out, so that there is a Visarjana and a readiness for the next task. This is the model applied, whether it is a practice of asana, pranayama, mantra japa, or dhyanam. Most importantly, adapting yoga to the needs of the individual. You see there one image of a care provider with a care seeker. The form may not be accurate. it was Sri Desikachar's approach that function takes precedence over form. And so how a posture or technique works for you can be adapted to the individual's body, factoring in the kala, desha, the age, the occupation, the capacity, and so on. And very, very personalized practices were designed by him and till today continue to be taught. This is the entire spectrum of Sri Desikachar's works. We've seen the Heart of Yoga. This was again path-breaking because Freudian yoga, he takes up Freudian theories for analysis in conversation with a psychoanalyst and positions them against the Yoga Sutra. So it's a book that was widely translated. Yoga and the Living Tradition of Krishnamacharya. It's called Health, Healing and Beyond. A very beautiful work on Krishnamacharya's life and how he taught his students. He has translated the Yoga Yajnavalkya Samhita, the Yoga Rahasya of the Yoga Taravali as well. Yoga of Healing is conversations with medical practitioners from different modalities. The Viniyoga of Yoga is a remarkable book about how you apply yoga, moving beyond form into function and how postures can be adapted to suit different bodies and different capabilities. Yoganjali Saram and Dhyanamalika poems of Krishnamacharya that were translated by Sri Desikachar. In Search of Mind and What Are We Seeking are both works on meditation, on the yoga path, and what is it that we are pursuing and what is our goal, written in very clear, lucid language. His style is very accessible to any reader who is interested in these deeper aspects of sadhana. These are also some of his audio recordings. He was a trained Ghanapati, and had a very wide repertoire of chants from the Krishna Yajurveda tradition. And this was sometime in the early 2000s when I was blessed to work with him on the production of these select Vedic mantras and mantras from various shlokas from various other traditions on these themes of Sampurna, Swasthyam, Surya, Samatvam. Also an entire CD-ROM of the Yoga Sutra, chanted with the meaning, the chanting of the Rudram, Chamakam, etc., and various other suktams that were also released by Sri Desikachar. I have always been impressed by two aspects of Sir's approach. First, his openness and an uncompromising willingness to use the best of any healing tradition without ego, without the walls that most healing professionals place between their chosen disciplines and others around them. The other aspect lies in his unshakable, abiding faith in the capability of the human body to repair itself. He firmly believes that this gift cannot be taken as given, but something that comes, that each individual has to work on and find for himself or herself. As a result, he never makes promises regarding outcomes from his advice, an ego trap that the overwhelming majority of healers consistently fall into. Here I must make mention of Sir's work with children who have special needs. There was this Professor Dr. Jayachandran who had a center helping children of special needs. And he had gone to a number of yogacharyas asking them for some support in intervention. Lastly, he came to Desikachar. And he said, can you help our children? And Sir's answer was, I do not know about these children or their needs, but what I do know is yoga. Now, if we can meet together, we have a midpoint, and if we dialogue, then we'll see what we can do together. This was his attitude, this was his approach, and that birthed an entire era of KYM's work with a number, I would say thousands upon thousands of children and individuals with different abilities and special needs with the Vijay Human Services, something that started in the 80s that the KYM continues till today. He had many great personalities of India as his students. Jiddu Krishnamurti was one whom he was in touch with from the 60s till Krishnaji passed away in the early 80s. His Holiness Sri Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal was a student of Sri Desikachar. He has also met and interacted with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Another Krishna who came into Desikachar's life was U.G. Krishnamurti. They shared a very cordial relationship, again a great philosopher. His Excellency Sri P.C. Alexander, the former governor of Tamil Nadu, Dr. Rukmini Devi Arundale, Dr. B. Ramamurthy, very well-known neurosurgeon, Shri M.V. Murugappan, well-known industrialist, Gerard Blitz, close associate of Krishnaji, Dr. Padma Subramaniam, Honorable Justice Prabha Sridevan, and among many other actors, Srimati Amala Kineni. In this world of instant communication, I had forgotten what it takes to communicate meaningfully. Sir stands as a living example, helping me remember how to connect. Without communicating, connecting, and appreciating, there is no relationship, and I'm grateful to Sir for helping me understand this. The parampara continues. His wife, Srimati Menaka Desikachar, is alive, continues to teach, as do his children, Dr. Kaustubha Desikachar and Mrs. Mekala Desikachar. His Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandram was founded by him in 1976, and we have graduated over 50 cohorts. Our cohorts run for 2 years, literally about 18 months. So about 50 cohorts of teachers and therapists, and they continue, many of them with centers of their own. And today we can say that we have an international presence of the Krishnamacharya Desikachar community, and his approach very closely, has a deep impact on how yoga is understood and taught, especially yoga therapy and how Sir integrates body, breath, mind practices. This is just an overview of the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. We are celebrating our 50th year, our Golden Jubilee, and these are the verticals that we work in. I head the KYM Institute of Yoga Studies, which is the training and certification wing, offering courses in yoga, yoga therapy, and a number of online and offline short-term courses in yoga studies. We have Yoga Chikitsa, which is a one-on-one personalized yoga therapy-based intervention that we give to care seekers. We've touched over 150,000 care seekers using tools of yoga applied to therapy over the last 50 years. There is an applied research department. Mitra and the TKV Desikachar Clinic work with those who have special needs. And so this is again an ongoing process. We've touched over 30,000 such children through our work with special needs and special educators. We have a department of healing chants, which also offers certificate courses. And apart from which, we have outreach activities in schools, colleges, corporates, and so on. Now, coming to my journey. In 1996, I was dancing on stage when I twisted my knee, hurt a ligament, and I fell on stage. Continued to perform and therefore injured my knee even further. This is when I first came to Shri Desikachar. I must have been just a teenager then. And he did a consultation, assigned me a teacher, and I continued to work under him to strengthen my knees. But then, as you're young and you tend to forget these things, and I just moved on. But as destiny would have it, I must say that it's serendipity, God's grace, Guru Kripa that brought me back. I had finished my master's in communication. And briefly, I was at home for about a month, and my mother got a little restless, and she said, you should do something about this. It was 2001, December. And there was an ad in the paper asking for someone who was to work as an editor in the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. They wanted someone who was at least 35 years old. At this time, I was 22. And I said, they're not going to choose me. I don't have any standing here. And my mother said, just go. At least you'll know what an interview is. That's the day I met Sir again. And in Jan 2002, I began to work under him in the Department of Publications as a collaborator, because I had to work on bringing out a lot of his works, his written works. I had to edit. I had constant meetings with him back and forth where we would say, change this, change that. I learned on the job. I must say that I had no background whatsoever in writing with IAST, understanding the diacritical notations. I had no background. I had a background in communication. But this is how I was trained, on the job, working with him one-on-one. And so as a collaborator, when I had to work with Sir, I was left with no choice but to study, because by then, A, my interest had been piqued, but B, I also needed to know the language, because the yoga vocabulary was not yet mine. And so I began to learn under him. I enrolled in the KYM's teacher training course. The greatest gift for me from 2003 was that I was young, unmarried, absolutely no other commitments. I was dancing. I was in the peak of my dance career, but time was mine. And therefore, I was very, very comfortably in the right place at the right time. And I had so much of one-on-one time with Sir, both working on his books, but also when he trained me, because at that point of time, we were trying to raise money for the KYM. And so I was sent on world tours with Srimati Desikachar, with Mrs. Menaka Desikachar. So he trained us one-on-one for over 6 months. Every day I have studied with him. So those were the greatest period, I could say it's a golden period in my life where I received this gift of a one-on-one study with a master like Sir. And it is because of him that I worked on many publications. All those publications you see I have worked on, including KYM's first publication of the Vedic chant manual, Mantramala. It had something like 30 chants. I learned how to notate. I learned how to typeset all of that. This was the gift he gave me on the day that Mantramala was released. And today I stand before you. If I head the Department of Yoga Studies, it's because of the seeds that Sir sowed in me that continue to bless me, to guide me till today. It is said, Gurum Prakashaye Dhiman, and this has been my life's mission, to take this teaching, to take the work of Sir and the Krishnamacharya Parampara sincerely, honestly, and authentically as I have been taught. Over the years, Yam Petra Inbam, Perga Iv Vayagam. Hariji was very particular that I also present what I have been doing. How have I been continuing this legacy? And I must say that my gifts are innumerable. There was some learning that I did directly. Much of my learning was observing, by watching him. And one thing that I must say here very quickly is punctuality. If he told us to come for a class at 4:30, the door would open at 4:30. If you were not there, he would shut that door and go. There was never, not even 1 second later. You could time it. If you were not there, he would close the door and you could not have a class with him. And till today, I think that has instilled in me this sense of having to be at a place, at a venue, at least 15 minutes in advance. And it's something that I cherish as a great gift. There were many, the way that he met people, how he would never take anything from anyone. If someone gave him a gift, they would give it to him, he would receive it so that that person didn't feel bad. When they left, that gift we all knew would be given to the next person who came. Whether it was a basket of fruits, whether it was a Rolex watch. There have even been times when I've gone to his house and he would say, Nrityama, wait panna, and he'd give me a packet of bread from the fridge because there was nothing else there. But he'd never let us leave without giving us something. So these are great learnings that cannot be done in a classroom that I was blessed to receive. I have worked with over 12,000 care seekers, over 5,000 students I have taught over the last 25 years of my journey in yoga with the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. I have been able to develop a syllabus for the yoga therapist course. Our yoga teacher training course was designed by him. The yoga therapist training syllabus has been put together by me with his blessings. And I think I've done many courses for INDICA as well, but over 60 online and offline courses on a wide variety of texts and subjects. All I attribute to what Sir has gifted to me. I've also been privileged to convene and to conduct 4 international conferences on a variety of themes, one for which I collaborated with the Chinmaya Foundation. I have written 3 books. One was a commentary to Krishnamacharya's Yoganjali Saram. Mantra Shiksha Mitram is a sort of a guideline book for Vedic chanting that details the pedagogy of Vedic chanting. A Return to Completeness, Purnameva. This is a set of essays on our journey, where we begin, what is our pursuit, how do we go through this journey, and where we return to. That was released last year. And honestly, I must say, with great humility, at the same time, great joy, that I'm blessed to be a part of this Guru Parampara. It is his anugraha, his blessings, that every step that I take has been manifesting with this amount of success, of beauty, of being able to reach others and to share Sir's vision, Sir's teachings. This has been the mantra that I have been telling to myself, that with every generation of teachers and students, naturally, there will be that individual bringing their own inputs. I have done my best to stay true to the tradition of Krishnamacharya and Desikachar, where there are interpretations or where I am adapting certain ideas or applying. I'm very cautious about how this is delivered so that the authenticity of Sir's work is not hindered in any way. And I only pray that with the anugraha of the Guru Parampara, this journey is blessed and that it continues to touch more lives. For this was Sir's only vision. That was his purpose, as you will see in my closing slide. When someone asked him what his purpose was, Sir said, I am just a postman. I am just delivering my father's great teachings to the next generation. If I finish this task successfully, I will be the happiest person. And it is in this role of the postman's postman that I stand before you, very humbly praying that I am blessed to carry this legacy forward. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Thank you to INDICA for this platform. Thank you.
Please stay for a bit. Dhanyavad Ritya ji. We are really happy and fortunate and honored to have amongst our midst the dynamic Vice Chancellor of Central Sanskrit University, Shri Srinivas Varakhedi ji, Professor Srinivas Varakhedi ji, Dr. Srinivas Varakhedi ji. A round of applause for him, please. We would be privileged if you could offer our token of appreciation to Nritya ji. Vinay Chandra ji, could you please escort Varakhedi ji? I request my colleague Pranita Garu to kindly bring the shawl forward. Yeah. Nritya ji, there will be pictures galore for you.
All right.
Please come. A round of applause is called for. Thank you, sir. We are so delighted to have you here. Thank you so very much. Please. Nritya ji, thank you.
सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम्.
It's a privilege to welcome the Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, to INDICA Guru Utsava 2026. Honorable Minister, on behalf of INDICA, our gurus and everyone gathered here, we offer you our warmest welcome and our gratitude for joining us on this sacred occasion. Guru Purnima, also remembered as Vyasa Purnima, is not merely an occasion on which we honor an individual teacher. It is a celebration of Guru Tattva, the principle through which ignorance is dispelled and knowledge is awakened. Guru Rupayaha. The Guru is the means. This Shiva Sutra expresses something profound. The Guru does not merely impart knowledge. The Guru becomes the very means through which knowledge awakens within the Shishya. At INDICA, nearly every initiative is conceived not merely as a program, publication, course, retreat or event, but as Naivedyam to Bhagavan, something prepared with care and offered in gratitude. Grateful to Gurus is among our most heartfelt such offerings. This year we are honoring 17 Gurus from across India and beyond. 7 of them are here with us today. Those unable to join us have sent their greetings and blessings. We deeply miss their presence and will honor them at their respective residences. No brief citation can encompass a lifetime devoted to knowledge, practice, teaching, and service. To describe such a life fully would be like attempting to describe the sun through a single ray. We have therefore chosen an illuminating aspect from the life and work of each Guru to share as they are invited to the stage. Brief profiles of all 17 Gurus are available in the printed and digital brochures. Longer conversations with them have also been published on the INDICA website. Each Guru will now be invited to the stage while a citation honoring their life and work is being read. May I request our Guru Samparkas to escort each Guru to the designated seat, ensure that they are comfortably seated, and then step down from the stage. With the rare insight of a vocalist, musicologist, linguist, and literary scholar, composer, teacher, and cultural historian combined, Dr. Arimalam S. Padmanabhan has shown that the timeless literary works of Tamil civilization were always meant to be sung and danced as much as recited and read. They are living voices that explore love, loss, destiny, and the meaning of being human through performance. Trained in a hereditary musical tradition under his guru, his father, Arimala of PSV Subramaniamji, his pioneering research into traditional Tamil theatrical music has recovered forgotten artistic worlds, while his scholarship on Tolka Payam Shilpadikaram and the Sangam corpus has illuminated the deep aesthetic and indeed musical foundations of classical Tamil writing. As he reminds us, the Shilpadikaram is as much as about the Yar and Urdu as it is about Kandagi and Kovalam. The 5 decades he has spent revealing the profound relationships between literature, music, and theatre through performance, research, writing, mentorship, and multilingual and interdisciplinary lexicography will ensure that this treasure trove of knowledge and insight will live on for generations more. Old palm leaf manuscripts prepared with love and reverence and preserved, then preserved again with equal care. This is the world of Dr. P. Perumal. Here, every manuscript is more than a repository of civilizational memory. It is a sacred responsibility to transmit these treasures safely across time. For over 4 decades, he has devoted himself to mastering the finest methods of preservation and conservation, with particular emphasis on India's own indigenous knowledge and techniques. After all, the materials are Indian and so are the challenges, from insects and fungi to heat, dust, and humidity. From the incomparable treasures of the Saraswati Mahal Library to the Sri Ramana Ashraman, where there is now modern climate control repository, he has worked tirelessly to ensure that fragile manuscripts like a 350-year-old Valmiki Ramayana or a 32-folio illustrated Nayaki Nayika Bhava continue to speak across centuries. Through research, teaching, workshops, and the training of countless conservators, Dr. Perumal has helped safeguard not only manuscripts in various collections, but also the traditional knowledge and craftsmanship required to preserve them for generations to come. We all welcome Dr. P. Perumal. More than anything else, Indian thought, language, and philosophical inquiry have been an unbroken conversation, one that has endured for millennia. Acharya Veer Narayan N.K. Pandurangeji has devoted his life to ensuring that this great Sanskrit conversation continues with the same vitality, rigor, and intellectual integrity that have sustained it across the ages. Scholar, teacher, editor, researcher, and custodian of an extraordinary textual tradition, he has been preserving, interpreting, teaching, and renewing their ideas for contemporary minds. Whether leading the digitization of rare Sanskrit manuscripts, producing critical editions, revitalizing the interpretive traditions of the Vedas, including those of Madhvacharya, or guiding scholars through the intricacy of Indian philosophy, his work reflects an enduring conviction that India's knowledge systems and the Sanskrit language must continually be studied, debated, and transmitted. Through his scholarship and mentorship, he has ensured that this timeless dialogue continues to inspire not only new generations, but eager seekers from every corner of the world. For Srimati Bhushani Kalyanaraman, music has never been just a subject to be mastered, but a way of inhabiting the world, not only through sound, rhythm, and musical form, but through observation, listening, practice, and enduring diligence. Raised as in Sri Lanka amidst the resonant cadences of Tamil devotional music and temple chants, she absorbed not only the lilt and cascade of Pashurams and Tevarams, but also the subtle grammar of Carnatic music long before she formally learnt it. As the foremost disciple of the legendary Tanjore S. Kalyanaraman, she has carried forward the distinctive GNBSKR musical lineage with fidelity, depth, and creative insight. Equally accomplished as a vocalist and veena artist, she has enthralled audiences and nurtured generations of students across continents while remaining rooted in Sampradaya and in Patantaram. In her music, tradition is never a relic of the past, but a living current to be heard and embodied in harmony with the world. The aim, as her father used to tell her, Iraigalodu isa inda inbam, inbamodu isa inda valakai. Joy in harmony with the living world and a life in harmony with joy. Or as I got inspired to pen, Jeevan Jagat se samalai Anand, Anand se samalai Jeevan. Professor Deepthi Omcheri Bhalla has devoted her life to ensuring that the sacred sounds, forms, and colors of Kerala live on in undiminished glory. As an acclaimed dancer, Carnatic musician, researcher, and professor at the University of Delhi, she has shown that every movement carries memory, every note bears devotion, and every performance becomes an offering. She has not merely performed inherited traditions, but recovered forgotten musical forms, temple rhythms, and ritual aesthetics, showcasing their vitality to audiences old and new. Trained in the rare tradition of Sopana Sangeeta by her mother, Padma Shri Dr. Leela Omcheri, and in Mohiniyattam by the legendary Kalamandalam Kalyani Kuttiyamma, she has woven together performance, scholarship, and teaching into a lifelong act of cultural stewardship. Through her art, Kerala's temples continue to resonate far beyond the sanctums, inspiring generations to inherit and inhabit a living tradition. Trained in advanced magnetic resonance imaging and spectroscopy at the University of Cambridge, Professor Dr. Rama Jayasundar returned to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, to explore the hidden patterns and correspondences between modern biomedical science and India's classical medical tradition. Her pioneering research first established the neurochemical asymmetry of the left and right hemispheres of the human brain. She pursued Ayurveda with equal rigor, and using spectroscopy, she uncovered phytochemical commonalities among plants categorized by rasa under Ayurveda that modern botanical taxonomy regarded as unrelated. For Professor Jayasundar, scientific discovery is not about choosing between traditional wisdom and modern evidence, but allowing each to illuminate the other. Her work has shown that Ayurveda is not a relic awaiting validation, but a sophisticated knowledge system inviting rigorous scientific inquiry. Through pioneering research, innovation, and fearless interdisciplinary scholarship, she has brought ancient insight and modern medicine into resonance, enriching our understanding of health, healing, and the intelligence of nature. Dr. Rajashri Vasudevan is a fourth-generation Bharatnatyam artist, scholar, and educator who has spent over 4 decades demonstrating that the Natya Shastra is not simply a treatise on dance and drama, but one of humanity's earliest explorations of aesthetics, consciousness, and the human condition. Her lifelong engagement with Bharata Muni and Abhinava Gupta and her training under her guru Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Padma Subramaniam, has shaped not only her scholarship but also her artistic practice, revealing how performance transforms emotion into insight and experience into rasa. Whether through research, teaching, choreography, or institution building, she has shown that the classical arts flourish only when intellect and embodiment move together. In the spirit of Abhinava Gupta himself, she reminds us that true scholarship is marked by intellectual rigor, gratitude to one's teachers, and the ability to discover the universal within the particular. It's a lesson she has carried into her own life that even in the moments of deepest despair, art and wisdom can help the spirit soar. With all our revered gurus now seated before us, we begin the Pada Puja, an expression of gratitude, humility, and reverence. I invite the INDICA team to come forward for the Pada Puja. Our revered Vedic scholars will accompany the offering with Veda Parayana. May I request Ganapati ji?
ॐ अग्ना विष्णु सुजोषसेमा वर्धन्तु वाङ्गिरः युम्नैर्वाजेभिरागतम् वायश्च मे प्रसवश्च मे प्रयतिश्च मे प्रचितिश्च मे धीतिश्च मे क्रतुश्च मे स्वरश्च मे श्लोकश्च मे श्रावश्च मे श्रुतिश्च मे ज्योतिश्च मे सुवश्च मे प्राणश्च मे पानश्च मे व्यानश्च मे शुश्च मे चित्तञ्च माधीतञ्च मे वाक्च मे मनश्च मे चक्षुश्च मे श्रोत्रञ्च मे दक्षश्च मे ओजश्च मे सहश्च म आयुश्च मे जराज म आत्मा च मे तनूश्च मे शर्म च मे वर्म च मे अङ्गानि च मे स्थानि च मे पुरोगोज च मे शरीराणि च मे जिगैष्ठ्यं च म आधिपत्यं च मे मन्युश्च मे भामश्च मे मश्च मे म्भश्च मे जेमा च मे महिमा च मे वरिमा च मे प्रतिमा च मे वर्ष्मा च मे द्राघुया च मे वृद्धं च मे वृद्धिश्च मे सत्यं च मे श्रद्धा च मे जगच्च मे धनं च मे वशश्च मे त्विषिश्च मे क्रीडा च मे मोदश्च मे जातं च मे जनिष्यमाणं च मे सूक्तं च मे सुकृतं च मे वित्तं च मे वेद्यं च मे भूतं च मे भविष्यच्च मे सुगं च मे सुपथं च म अर्थं च म अर्थिश्च मे क्लुप्तिश्च मे मतिश्च मे सुमतिश्च मे शञ्च मे मयश्च मे प्रियञ्च मे नुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रञ्च मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणञ्च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वञ्च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रञ्च मे सूश्च मे क्षीरञ्च मे लयश्च मर्दञ्च मे मृदञ्च मे यक्ष्मञ्च मे नामयच्च मे जीवादुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वञ्च मे नमित्रञ्च मे भयञ्च मे सुगञ्च मे शयनञ्च मे सूषा च मे सुदिनञ्च मे ऊर्क्च मे सूनृदा च मे पयश्च मे रसश्च मे घृतञ्च मे सग्धिश्च मे सपीदिश्च मे कृषिश्च मे वृष्टिश्च मे जैत्रञ्च मौद्भिद्यञ्च मे रयिश्च मे रायश्च मे पुष्टञ्च मे पुष्टिश्च मे विभुज मे प्रभुज मे बहुज मे भूयश्च मे पूर्णञ्च मे पूर्णतरञ्च मे क्षितिश्च मे कूयवाश्च मे अन्नञ्च मे क्षुच्च मे व्रीहयश्च मे यवाश्च मे माषाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुद्गाश्च मे खल्वाश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे मसुराश्च मे प्रियङ्गवश्च मेणवश्च मे श्यामागाश्च नीवाराश्च मे अश्मा च मे मृत्तिका च मे गिरयश्च मे पर्वताश्च मे सिकताश्च मे वनस्पतयश्च मे हिरण्यञ्च मे यश्च मे सीसञ्च मे त्रवुश्च मे श्यामञ्च मे लोहञ्च मे अग्निश्च आपश्च मे विरुधश्च औषधयश्च मे कृष्णपच्यञ्च मे कृष्णपच्यञ्च मे ग्राम्याश्च मे पशवारण्याश्च यज्ञेन कल्पन्ता वित्तञ्च मे वित्तिश्च मे भूतञ्च मे भूतिश्च मे वसतिश्च मे कर्म च मे शक्तिश्च मे अर्थश्च म एमश्च म इतिश्च मे गतिश्च मे अग्निश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे सोमश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे सविता च म इन्द्रश्च मे सरस्वती च म इन्द्रश्च मे पूषा च म इन्द्रश्च मे बृहस्पतिश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे मित्रश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे वरुणश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे पस्ता च म इन्द्रश्च मे धाता च म इन्द्रश्च मे विष्णुश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे श्विनौ च म इन्द्रश्च मे मरुदश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे विश्वे च मे देवा इन्द्रश्च मे पृथिवी च म इन्द्रश्च मे अन्तरिक्षं च म इन्द्रश्च मे द्यौश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे दिशश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे मूर्धा च म इन्द्रश्च मे प्रजापतिश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे अगुंशुश्च मे रश्मिश्च मेधाभ्यश्च मेधिपतिश्च म उपागुंशुश्च मेऽन्तर्यामश्च म ऐन्द्रवायवश्च मे मैत्रावरुणश्च म आश्विनश्च मे प्रतिप्रस्थानश्च मे शुक्रश्च मे मन्धी च म आग्रयणश्च मे वैश्वदेवश्च मे ध्रुवश्च मे वैश्वानरश्च मार्दग्रहाश्च मे दिग्राह्याश्च म ऐन्द्राक्षश्च मे वैश्वदेवश्च मे मरुत्वतीयाश्च मे माहेन्द्रश्च म आदित्यश्च मे सावित्रश्च मे सारस्वतश्च मे पौष्णश्च मे पात्नीवतश्च मे हरियोधनश्च मे एकाच मे तिस्रश्च मे पञ्च च मे सप्त च मे नव च म एकादश च मे त्रयोदश च मे पञ्चदश च मे सप्तदश च मे नवदश च म एकविंशतिश्च मे त्रयोविंशतिश्च मे पञ्चविंशतिश्च मे सप्तविंशतिश्च मे नवविंशतिश्च म एकत्रिंशच्च मे त्रयस्त्रिंशच्च मे चतुस्रश्च मे अष्टौ च मे द्वादश च मे षोडश च मे विंशतिश्च मे चतुर्विंशतिश्च मे अष्टाविंशतिश्च मे द्वात्रिंशच्च मे षट्त्रिंशच्च मे चत्वारिंशच्च मे चतुश्चत्वारिंशच्च मे अष्टाचत्वारिंशच्च मे वाजश्च प्रसवश्च पिजश्च क्रतुश्च सुवश्च मूर्धा च व्यश्च यश्चान्त्ययनश्चान्यश्च भुवनश्च भुवनश्चाधिपतिश्च इडादेवहोर्मनुर्यज्ञनेर्बृहस्पतिरुक्थामदानिशगुंसि विश्वे देवाः सूक्तवाचः पृथिवीमातर्मामाहि गुंसेर्मधुमनिष्ये मधु वक्ष्यामि मधु वदिष्यामि मधुमतीं देवेभ्यो वाचमुद्यासगुं शुश्रूषेण्यां मनुष्येभ्यस्तं मा देवा अवन्तु शोभायै पितरोऽनुमदन्तु हरिः ओम्।
आशीर्वाद लो. Go, Spita, go. Harshit, you want to take Ashirwad fast and come back? You guys want to take quick Ashirwad and come back? नहीं जी. Ashirwad लेके वापस. चलो फटाफट से आओ. Three or there. हाँ, only three people. Wait up. Keep one shot at it. It's okay. So we fold it. That is for ma'am. This is for ma'am. Go quickly take Ashirwad and come फटाफट से. You all will take Ashirwad. Now you guys can go to your seats. Only Sai and rest is तुम दोनों यही रुको. साई और विनय वो शील्ड उठाना है. I'll be here. You can stay. Or you want to you be here only. I think you will escort her to the. So you go from the wing. But you want to go from wherever. Those two are in order. To our Gurus, we offer our deepest gratitude. May your blessings continue to guide our work and strengthen the paramparas you embody. We now come to the felicitation of our Gurus. It's our privilege to invite the Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, to join our Gurus on stage for the felicitation ceremony. Each Guru will be presented with a shawl a commemorative plaque and an honorarium of 11,000 as INDICA's expression of gratitude. I request my colleagues to come forth, Pranita ji, Abhishek ji, Vinay Chandra ji, and Sai Swarupa ji. Yes, ma'am. We begin with Dr. Arimalam S. Padmanabhan ji. Hari Garu. You have to. You can manage, right? Yes. Dr. P. Perumal ji, come from that side. You come from that side. With Vinay ji, come from that side. आचार्य वीर नारायण N.K. पांडुरंगी जी, we now honor Srimati Bhushani Kalyana Raman ji. Professor Deepti Omchari Bhalla ji. Dr. Rama Jayasundar ji. Dr. Rajshri Vasudevan ji. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please be seated. I request Hari Vadlamani Garu, our founder, to take the proceedings forward now. Do you want to read Hari Jain ji's note? All right, Anil. Sure.
ఎందరో మహానుభావులు అందరికీ నా వందనాలు. Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman garu, our gurus on the dais, the scholars amongst the audience, the seekers amongst the audience, the intellectuals amongst the audience. I'm extremely grateful to all of you for coming to this occasion. Thank you so much. I, frankly, after the experience of serving the gurus, I'm at loss for words and overwhelmed actually with what we have just witnessed in terms of expressing our gratitude. This is a event that we started, this is a program that we started, ma'am, in 2016, when we first felicitated Professor B.B. Lal. And since then, this journey has been, over the last 10 years, has taken several forms, several shapes. We simultaneously felicitated from 2019 in Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad. That was one evolution that happened. Then we decided that we have to do it on the Guru Purnima day. Then we also felt that we should do it for the gurus who are unable to travel. We should do it at their residences. So the evolution of, and we're also doing felicitations for gurus in the United States and also in UK. So over the last 10 years, 154 gurus have been honored, and this year we have selected 17. The process that we follow is we make an announcement and we receive applications, and based on the jury, we select them. Embody, honor, celebrate. Those are the tagline that we have. And this evolution of this tagline also over the last 11 years since we have been around, we have realized that Indian knowledge systems is of two kinds. One is informational Indian knowledge systems, and the other is transformational Indian knowledge systems. For us, Indian knowledge systems has to be transformational. It is not just informational. So this whole idea of embodiment, that you should become not a scholar, but a practitioner scholar, was our theme. So we only seek to serve seekers, and that is our primary goal. Our entire pedagogy is built on the basis that we are serving seekers. We call it as the 5A pedagogy, where first of all there has to be an acharya, there has to be an ashrama kind of an environment, there has to be an adara, there has to be an abhyasa, and there has to be arpana. So the transformational IKS that we talk about and the pedagogy that we follow is all about this way. And our programs, initially we started doing programs in an academic manner, and we transformed ourselves into, wherein even an academic conference, we do it in a place which is linked to the conference. For example, Shaivism conference, we have done it in Varanasi. Conference on oneness, we did it in Velinad. Conference on Tantra, we did in Bhuvaneshwar. Conference on Bhakti, we did in Bhadrachalam. Conference on Jainism, we did in Jodhpur. So every conference, we have converted into a yatra. We have conference on Vaishnavism in Srirangam. So that is how we felt that we have to serve this IKS. IKS has to be transformational. Our idea was that it's good that the government is doing a push for IKS, and we look at IKS from a perspective of objective knowledge and subjective knowledge. Objective knowledge, what our ancestors have discovered, has been built upon. But as far as subjective knowledge is concerned, it's timeless. The kind of the wisdom that we have, whether it is on well-being or psychology, these are all timeless principles. So we are focused on the timeless aspect of it. That's why our mission is well-being for all. Madam, I have 3 messages that I would like you to remember from this. One is, I was doing a research on how the Teachers' Day came about. Was it a cabinet decision? Was it a government order? How did September 5th as a Teachers' Day come about? And so I was doing little AI perplexity kind of a research. What I discovered was that in 1962, when Sarvepalli Radhakrishna was the president, his disciples wanted to celebrate his birthday on September 5th. So he announced it and said that, look, let us not celebrate just my birthday. Let my birthday be known as a Teacher's Day. Since then, there has been there's no formal government communication, but it's just a tradition that has been followed. My message to you, Honorable Minister, is that we do not take away, there would be some secular, some schools which would want to continue that, but we announce Guru Purnima as a Guru Utsava day, Guru Purnima as a Guru day, wherein this kind of a feeling that we saw today will be seen in hundreds of thousands of schools and institutions across the country, where on that day, on the Purnima, the teachers, with that alignment of the Tithi, the teachers will give the reverence and pay the reverence to their gurus. That's a message. We need not take away Teachers' Day, but at least we give the option to a school and a college or institution to follow Guru Purnima as a Guru's Day. It's an easy notification that can happen. The other message that I would like to mention about is that we are focused, like I mentioned to you about the 5A pedagogy. Our dream is to build a Mahagurukulam. We have the land near Hyderabad. We want to build a Mahagurukulam, reminding us of Takshashila, reminding us of Nalanda, wherein multidisciplinaries, it could be Ayurveda, it could be yoga, it could be Vedanta, it could be Shastram, it could be Vedam, it could be Kalaripattu, it could be Shilpa Shastram, it could be indigenous ecological traditions, Vriksha Ayurveda, all performing arts, like for example, Kalakshetra. So if you imagine a place wherein there is multiple Gurukulams in one location, a Mahagurukulam. That is our dream, and I'm very happy. This is something which we announced 4 or 5 years back. And to achieve this, Madam, it's not easy to build a institution for traditional knowledge, which is not a university, which is a Gurukulam, and a multidisciplinary Gurukulam at that, requires so many factors to come together. So many factors have to align together. There has to be money, there has to be Guru, Acharya, there has to be students. I believe the time has come. I believe the world today, especially on the Indian knowledge systems, the well-being aspects, whether it's the ecological aspects, whether it is the consciousness studies, whether it is the psychological aspects or the health aspects, as Professor Ramaji Sundar's work is, all these aspects, we are timeless, and there's a need for that. And why a Gurukulam? For example, Ayurveda produces, there are so many colleges in India which produce Ayurvedas, but somewhere down the line, the Ayurveda has been secularized, and the divinity, the sacred aspect has been removed, and we produce some 10,000 Ayurveda teachers. Now, in this Gurukulam, for example, we can do a postgraduate wherein we bring back those portions of the Ayurveda wherein they have that. Because today, if you go to a traditional Ayurveda, why do we go to a traditional Ayurveda? Because the tradition is retained. So if you look at yoga, for example, we have a fellowship with the SVSI University where we said we will do a Yoga Charya program. It's not about asanas, it is a complete package of Sanskritam, Shastram, everything. And we have already produced 5 disciples. My colleague Vinay will vouch me for that. So every discipline that we have, classical arts, we have seen Kalakshetra, but there's only one Kalakshetra, and we also have seen how it has fallen prey to certain secularized situation. We need to bring back divinity, because even in singing, for example, Rama is just two syllables. It is not divine. Yes, some people say that. So we need to bring back divinity. We need to bring back the sacral aspects of it. And that only an acharya, an ashram environment, an abhyasa, an adara and arpana, these are required for this. And if we want our timeless wisdom to be propagated, the government has to think about both these aspects. The phenomenal effort this government has been doing in the last 5 years under the leadership of Ganti Murthy, who is heading the ministry, the department. Phenomenal work. Today, IKS is mainstreamed. But this is informational IKS. This is not transformational IKS. So our idea, ma'am, is that we need to focus on transformational IKS. And I'm leaving this thought with you. Is one way is that, for example, section 30, I'm a chartered accountant, ma'am. So, for example, weighted deduction for scientific research we have in Income Tax Act. We can, and what is science? So therefore, if I want to preserve my civilizational knowledge, there will be again opposition. Oh, you're doing all this. Yesterday only. Fortunately, the jibe against the IIT person happened yesterday and not today. That would have actually broken our hearts. But I would request a consideration that we look at a weighted deduction for capital expenditure for preserving civilizational knowledge. This is not just only Shastram. It could be our seeds. It could be our ecological knowledge, our psychology, our well-being. So I want to leave that thought with you, ma'am. The last, ma'am, our thing is about embody, honor, and celebrate. Embodiment is for the seeker. Honoring is again by the seeker to his Guru Sishya. And celebrate is important for the society. So we very strongly believe in celebration. We have a Oneness festival. You have been kind enough to address us for that. We have a yoga festival in Mysuru, a phenomenal event. And we now have the Guru Utsava, which was just a program. Now we made it as a celebration. It's a celebration. We are celebrating the Guru Sishya Parampara. That's what we are doing. We want a Utsava. We want everybody. This is the only civilization where knowledge is celebrated. It's not just an event. It's not a victory of good or evil, but we are celebrating knowledge. And that's what we want to do. So we want to celebrate our knowledge. We were planning a World IKS Congress in March 28. It will take us that time. And I would request you to mark your diary and calendar. And please be with us in March 28 and give us the keynote address. And with those words, thank you very much, ma'am. Your presence today has made a difference, not just to INDICA, but to IKS, but to our civilization knowledge. The fact that you have come, you have taken the respect from all these gurus, your studiousness with which you have approached this, we are very, very grateful to you, ma'am. Very, very grateful to you. Thank you so much. Yeah. We just request our Vadlamani Garu to please come over. He has come from, he was chief priest in Balaji temple, ma'am. Incidentally, he shares my surname. We didn't know about each other. And he worked in the temple for 35 years. And he brought a small shawl and prasadam for you. So we just want to.
Abhishek ji. After that, a token of gratitude from our side also for ma'am.
निर्प्रासो विपण्यवो जागृभागुंसस्समिन्धते विष्णोर्य परमं परं वृषशैलाधिप एव दैवतन्नः वृषभाद्रेश्वर एव दैवतन्नः हरिशैलाधिप एव दैवतन्नः भगवान् वेङ्कट एव दैवतन्नः श्री श्रीनिवासः परदैवतन्नः श्री श्रीनिवासः परमन्धनन्नः श्री श्रीनिवासः कुलदैवतन्नः श्री श्रीनिवासः परमागतिन्नः वक्त्राब्जे भाग्यलक्ष्मीः करदलकमले सर्वदा दानलक्ष्मीः दोर्दण्डे वीरलक्ष्मीः हृदयसरसिजे भूतकारुण्यलक्ष्मीः खड्गाग्रे शौर्यलक्ष्मीः निखिलवनगणाडम्बरे कीर्तिलक्ष्मीः सर्वाङ्गे सौम्यलक्ष्मीः मयुर्विजयतां सर्वसाम्राज्यलक्ष्मीः जगदोऽद्य वेङ्कटपते विष्णोः परां प्रेयसीं तत्पक्षस्थलनित्यवासरसिकां पक्षान्द्रिसंवर्धिनीं पद्मालङ्कृतपाणिपल्लवयुगां पद्मासनस्थां श्रियं वात्सल्यादिगुणोज्ज्वलां भगवतीं वन्दे जगन्मातरं कान्ताय कल्याणनिधये निधयेऽर्थिनां श्रीवेङ्कटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मङ्गलम् लक्ष्मीप्रसन्नवेङ्कटेश्वरप्रसादसिद्धिरस्तु.
I now invite my colleague Pranita Garu to bring a token of our appreciation for Ma'am Minister. Hari Garu, rinsing tea. You can collect it. Thank you. Yeah, and then Ma'am Minister.
Ma'am, Harishankar Jain ji was not well. He was also supposed to join us. And on behalf of all the gurus, he was supposed to speak. So he just made a few words and I will just read them out. I bow down to the Guru of Universe, Lord Shiva, on this auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima. I, on behalf of all gurus invited today, express gratitude to INDICA for reviving the old Indian tradition to honor gurus who are working in different fields in different parts of Mahabharati, like education, science, literature, arts, history. Today is a matter of pride for everyone that revered gurus are here to bless us and also who have sent blessings. INDICA is celebrating grateful to gurus is the idea that knowledge and dharma don't survive in books alone. They survive because someone carries them forward and someone else receives them and the chain continues. Before Maharshi Vedavyasa, the ultimate wisdom of universe existed as a vast continuous ocean of oral chants known as Vedas. Maharshi Vyasa realized that as time progressed, human capacity to memorize such vast knowledge would decline. Through his immense foresight and spiritual penance, he organized and classified the Vedas. Now let us ask ourselves, what does Guru Sishya Parampara mean to us today in the modern world? We live in a digital era filled with information overload. Today, algorithms can give us instant answers and artificial intelligence can generate data in seconds. But let us never confuse information with wisdom. Information tells us what something is. Wisdom teaches us how to live with it. Modernity does not mean discarding our roots, and young minds should wear their heritage with pride. Because true Guru Dakshina that we can give our mentors is to live by the values they have taught us. It is to remain lifelong learners, humble in success, resilient in failure, and compassionate to all. Harishankar Jain. Now, I invite Honorable Finance Minister to please come and address us.
First, on this very sacred day, let me bow my head in respect to all the gurus who are present here, who were to come, the rest of them who couldn't come. And I'm sure there are gurus in the audience for all of you my humble pranams. Even as I was invited for coming over, I was very happy to do that because on Guru Purnima you're going to be able to have the blessings of gurus and be able to be in their company. But when I was asked to speak, meaning not today, not this minute, but even earlier, I was telling myself, won't it be like Adhiga Prasangam? You know, you come talk here in front of gurus, just not right. But this whole thing of, no, we still, and therefore I'm exhibiting a certain audacity in standing before all of you all and talking. Please pardon me if I'm exceeding any limits. Today I'm here as a Sishya. I have no business to stand up and talk. But I can't say, no, Kiranji, I won't, I'll go sit. Since that's not given as an option, I submit with all humility a few thoughts about Guru Sishya Parampara, and the little that I've learned from my family or my, elders. And first let me appreciate INDICA for keeping alive this tradition, for keeping alive, bringing gurus so that we have an opportunity to respect them, to serve them and be of some kind of a humility in front of them and offer them all the dedication that we can. So from 2016 continuously for 10 years is not a small thing. I appreciate the entire INDICA team for having taken this effort, sustained it and doing it till today. So grateful to gurus is a good name, and it seems to have at least touched the set of gurus. Today's 17 or 155 I'm told in total till now. It's Mahapunya, that's all I can say, the way in which you've created an opportunity to be able to remember and serve Guru. So Vyasa Purnima is the right day to say. And you've also given me 2 suggestions. I certainly will carry them and convey it to the government. I know many gurus start their Chaturmasya from today. They stay put in a place and offer Sishyas the opportunity to go seek their blessings in one place. Otherwise, they keep moving to meet up with their followers. But each one of us have our own gurus, and they have their own place where they've chosen to do their Chaturmasya. And it will definitely be the best of times to approach a guru and seek their blessings. So, the first thing that I feel in India, Guru Sishya Parampara and all that said, one feature about, call it Indian knowledge systems, call it anything, is it's a lived experience. You live what you want to do with your guru, learn with your guru, respect your guru, constantly keep that contact alive with your guru, and therefore draw that energy from the guru to be able to perform your duties. So it's not something which is distant, it's not something which is preached, and it's not something we are just hearing. Every minute from the birth of the child till you attain your human life's role, you're living the experience. And some of us have the blessing of having one guru, some others may have several gurus. But it is an experience which we live, and therefore it is something which cannot be codified faithfully. You can codify to an extent, but the expanse with each one of us are experiencing is very difficult to codify. I heard, and I've learned this somewhere, pardon me, I'm talking in a very layman's language. There are great seekers here, there are great domain specialists who have learned to understand how Indian philosophy works in these sort of matters. I'm nobody there. But I've learned that, even Brahma was created to create the world. Even he was taught. But obviously, you need a guru to teach you. And the word guru itself is gu and ru, where actually the Parabrahma, who's above Brahma himself or above everything, is actually gunatita. He is guna atita. The Parabrahman has nothing. He is no emotions, tattva, raja, nothing of this, tamo guna, nothing. So he is gunatita. But he is the one who created Brahma and he is the one who taught him in some form. But Rupa Varjita is the Ru. So Guru, Gunatita and Rupa Varjita. When it is Rupa Varjita, he has no form. So how at all a Guru is going to help the creatures living in the earth? So Gunatita, Rupa Varjita still had to come as a Guru on the earth. And that is why a Guru, it's all right, we teach our children Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwara. But the next line is the most important. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. Is because of this, Guru. He comes down with Guna and Rupa. But he is actually Parabrahma himself. He's got to be Gunatita. He's got to be Rupa Visarjita. But you still worship him in the form of a Rupa and everything else. That is why this is my own, again, my own limited little understanding. You may say the 1,000 names of Vishnu. I'm sure some of us regularly recite Vishnu Sahasranama. But that one verse, I don't remember the number, 23, 24, somewhere in that position. Gurur Guru Tamodama Satya Satya Parakrama. It's a fantastic line. Among the 1,000, I mean, every name appeals to you for one reason or the other and you say it. But today, I'm repeatedly in my mind going on with Guru Tamodama. Because if you take each one of the word, you'll know he is actually beyond Guru himself. So every Guru here, I can stand before them and say, Guru Tamodama Satya Satya Parakrama. You're Satya yourself and you're Parakrama. So this whole idea of a Guru with so many things that you can pick up on, itself will bring you down to the level of being the humblest of soul. I mean, you're nobody. You're actually nobody before each one of these Gurus. So Vishnu Sahasranama, each name, sometimes some name goes on like a bumblebee in your head, it goes repeating. But today, honestly, from the morning, I'm saying Guru Tamodama. So there are ever so many ways in which our culture, where you live it every day, reminds you that the role of a Guru is unbeaten. And in that, there is no age, there is no caste, there is no gender. And therefore, what is civilization? It hasn't demarcated anything so watertight. And when I say age, again, from my childhood, when we used to go to the temple and all that, outer prahara, most temples, Shiva temples that is, would have a Dakshina Murti under a Vatavriksha with one leg crossed on his thigh and Chin Mudra. And if the sculptor had the space, he would have shown some Sishyas sitting. The most important thing, which again fell in my ears, somebody from my family must have told, but today it struck me like, what a idea. A young person can be a guru for an elderly. There's no, lighter varja varjitam. There are no lines drawn there. Oh, no, how can a senior person have a guru who's so young? No. Imagine Adi Shankara himself walked around and so many people fell at his feet. You are the guru. He was still 30, 32. So Dakshinamurti looks so handsome, young guru. But at his feet were seniors, seekers, elderly people, and young people, and many others. So the guru is never got to be the only grey-haired, bearded man there. No. The guru is ageless. So you can seek anyone as your guru, or seek meaning you can't really, if it has to happen. Again, I'm straying a lot from the original theme. In Tamil at homes, when you talk, there is a word called yadech. It's got distorted. Yadechya nadandadu. It's actually yadrishya. It sounds as though it just so happened. But it's never just so happened. It's all there in that calendar up above us, the cosmic calendar. It has to happen now, before you, at this time, like this. It happens. But the common sense will tell you, the Purakkathil Bhasha, the way in which we use it, will make you feel that it just so coincidentally happened. No, it's a very serious word. Very serious word. And again, I'll refer to INDICA's own lectures by Professor Ramanathan. Professor Krishnamurti. In one of his books, he goes elaborating on what is this yadrishya. It's so providentially happening. But in Tamil we say yadeche, yadeche, yadeche. Why did I have to say this? So, you don't go seeking a guru. It has to yadrishya happen. So today when we are talking about guru, oh yes, the importance of the guru I have understood. I need a guru. You can do 1,000 search. It happens, yadrishya. So it can be a young guru, it can be a woman guru, it can be any guru. And again, therefore, if we go further, Dakshinamurti, I said, young guru with probably even elderly people at his feet. In Tamil Nadu, Lord Subramanya is Murugan, is seen as a guru. And whose guru he was? To even Lord Shiva, to his own father. To his father, he taught him the meaning of pranava. So, Tamil Nadu guru is Subramanya. Of course, children from childhood are taught to worship Hayagriva. Before your exams, you better seek his blessing. Hayagriva is the guru. And actually, as one of the avatars of Mahavishnu, he saved the Vedas. He retrieved it from Kaitaba and Madhu, the demons who took away the Vedas. So, our idea of the guru is not fixated on one type. The situations build and bring or manifest the guru before us, and we accept and venerate them. And these are over the million, no disputes. And of course, there are people who like to tell you all, no, this is a very rigorous and inward-looking religion. Hinduism is full of caste and everything else. Just for a minute, go to seeing who are the gurus. You have recognized 155 already. Birth has not ever determined our gurus. Birth never was the measure. Caste was never the measure. I repeat this, I quote this example wherever I get a chance because I so admire the mother and son, Satyakama Jabali. Chandogya Upanishad. This boy, because the mother says, you go find your guru, do what you want, you should learn. He goes, and Maharishi Gautama just asked him, who are you? What's your lineage? In all his innocence and honesty, the boy replies, saying, his mother didn't know who his father was. Did it outrage the Guru? No. The Guru said, I understand and I recognize you for what you are. And took him happily as a Sishya. He didn't comment, what? You didn't know your father? What the hell? And your mother didn't know who your father is? None of that. He took the boy for what he was. Who was Vyasa? Himself had a fisherwoman as the mother. Parashara could have been a Brahmin, but the mother is a fisherwoman, Satyavati. Who are the Nayanars? In Tamil, the entire Charitra of Shiva is written by 63 saints. And I'm sure all the scholars here would know about them. They came from all kinds of castes. But you, me, everyone who knows about Shaiva worship in Tamil Nadu will treat each one of the 63 as their gurus. And there are such beautiful songs about the 63, which every household will sing with great emotion and passion because they saw Shiva. So the Nayanars, and that included also Karaikal Ammayar, who's a woman, accepted as a guru. So 63 of them, and in fact in that most touching example is Nandanar, who was in today's language a Dalit. The songs that he has sung can tear apart your heart in his bhakti of Shiva. We didn't say, oh no, you're Dalit, yeah, you can't worship. No. Everybody would look at Nandanar with the reverence. That's the Guru Sishya culture. And similarly, Kannappa Nayanar, a very pathetic story of his mad love with Shiva. Goes and he says, Shiva wants your eye. He uses his arrow because he was a hunter by profession. Just tears apart his eye, fixes it on the linga. And then he says, no, not one, I want the second also. Second also he gives. Then people say, we wonder now, how did he fix it on Shiva? Because he loses his second eye also. In his mad love for Shiva, he puts his foot on Shivalinga and says, I know where the next eye has to be placed. Here we go. Hunter. And we still Kannappa Nayanar, great guru. And so are the Alvars. If this is about Shaivism, Vaishnavite. All the 12 came from different castes. There was just no questioning where they came from. But the songs on Mahavishnu that they have sung will bring tears to your eyes. And those of us who have the greatest blessing that you can understand Tamil, oh my God, that's bhakti, that's guru. You know, the guru in these people is what I fall at their feet for. The way they sing. Here, of course, Tulsi, Surdas, who was blind, but what kind of vision of the Lord they had. So we never question their caste or birth, but our tradition is to respect that particular soul, Jivatma and Paramatma in one, who gave you that knowledge, who imparted that thing to you to make you understand you and one, you and the Paramatma are one, if you're a follower of Advaita. Now, if that's the case, again, having said this far, I don't need to elaborate on the next point. We didn't look at the Guru to choose him or her. Gurus with any features, for his knowledge we fell at his feet, or her feet. Ashtavakra was given the maximum respect when he went to the court of Janaka. Ashtavakra. But the jnana he is given. A few minutes ago we had Vivek Debroy's Srimati here, probably she's just left. Vivek Debroy's Ashtavakra Gita is the simplest way in which you can understand it. In English, of course. But there are ever so many versions of Ashtavakra Gita which can tell you what gist of Advaita he's put in that little book. So the Guru, not by age, not by gender, not by birth, not by caste, not by features. We live a culture which respects the Guru for the jnana he will try to put in you if you are the right patra, if you are made of that substance which can receive that jnana from. Not everyone is ready yet, but all of us can aspire to reach there. So, before it's felt that I'm talking too much, having started with, I don't want to talk too much. India's knowledge system, the indigenous knowledge system, has survived because we live it. Every bit of what we do every day should have a bearing to that inheritance that we've had. It can start simple. Just light a lamp at home. Make sure you're able to give some food to people. At least till my mother was alive, and I tried to keep that. Without serving one handful of cooked rice to the crow in the morning with a bit of ghee or a dal or whatever. The rest of the household shouldn't eat. Because that Panchabhuta Yajna that you have to do, serve the five, your Purvajas, the animals and creatures around you, your elders, your Pitru, and so on. So we have to live this and we have to keep doing it for our children to follow us. We've all come this far for the bits that we've learned from our elders in keeping up this knowledge. And that is why I think it is important that we live it, we continue to live it, we carry it forward to the next generation. And in that tradition, INDICA, for doing it so visibly, for all of us to see it and be a part of, we owe a great debt of gratitude. Thank you very much, INDICA. So may this Guru Purnima renew in all of us the humility to remain lifelong students, the generosity to become good teachers, and the resolve to carry forward this timeless parampara for generations to come. In that, INDICA-like institutions contribute to us, but we as individuals also will have to live that life in however diluted a form, but live it. It's only by that can our youth, our own children, can follow us. We do not want them to be misdirected. We do not want them to be lost. So it's our duty, it's our responsibility to live that life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Of course, of course. Thank you very much, ma'am. As we bring INDICA Guru Utsava 2026 to a close, our deepest gratitude is first and foremost to all 17 Gurus being honored through Grateful to Gurus this year. to the Gurus present with us today and to those who could not join us but have sent their greetings and blessings, we offer our reverence and gratitude. Your lives, teachings, and blessings give meaning to this offering. Our sincere gratitude to the Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, for joining and honoring our Gurus with her presence. We thank Shri Vadlamani Subramanya Ganapati ji, Sarayu GSG, Nritya Jagannathan ji, whose chanting, performance and scholarship enriched today's Guru Utsava. Our gratitude to IIT Delhi and the Research and Innovation Park for their support in making this gathering possible. To every member of the INDICA team, our volunteers, partners and well-wishers who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, thank you. To all our guests, thank you for joining us in this celebration of gratitude. On this Vyasa Purnima, we offer our pranama to Bhagavan Ved Vyasa, in whose honor this sacred day is observed. We place this Guru Utsava at the feet of Ma Sharada, from whom all knowledge flows and to whom every act of learning must finally return. May the wisdom of the Guru Shishya Parampara continue to illuminate our lives and guide the work we offer. Namaste. We began with the chanting and we will conclude with the Mangalam. Do I see Sai Guruji? Yes. So, my dear colleague and sister, Sai Swarupa Iyer, the best-selling author, and my colleague in Indica, who leads our Center for Writing and Publishing, will be here to chant. Come, Saiji. Sing. Apologies, she will sing.
Presenting a Kriti of Narayana Tirtha as the Mangalam. Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam, Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam, Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam, Mangalam Rukmini Ramanaya Shripate, Mangalam Ramaniya Murtayete, Mangalam Srivatsabhushaya Shangine, Mangalam Nanda Gopatmajaya, Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam, Navanita Choraya Nandadi Gopa Gorakshine, Gopika Vallabhaya, Navanita Choraya Nandadi Gopa Gorakshine, Gopika Vallabhaya, Narada Munindra Nuta Namadheyayate, Narayanananda Tirtha Gurave, Narada Munindra Nuta Namadheyayate, Narayanananda Tirtha Gurave, Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam, Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam, Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam, Jaya Mangalam Shubha Mangalam.
So we'll meet next year in a bigger Guru Utsava. We look forward to meeting you all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.